The biggest problem most men face with women isn't attraction, confidence, or even communication, it's confusion. You're confused when she says one thing and does another. You're confused when she pulls away after showing affection. You're confused when she's warm and affectionate one day, then cold and distant the next. It makes you question yourself, your worth, and even the reality of the connection. But here's the truth. Women are not designed to make sense in the way men expect they are designed to feel. They are emotional beings by nature, and their emotions are in constant motion. If you keep approaching women as if they should follow logical patterns like a math equation, you will always end up frustrated, heartbroken, and lost. Her words often reflect her current emotional state, not a binding contract, she says. I love you. She means it in that moment. When she says, I never want to lose you, she feels it deeply right then. But that doesn't mean those emotions will hold the same power tomorrow. When you take those words as permanent commitments, you set yourself up for disappointment. The sooner you understand that her expressions are tied to the moment and the feelings she's experiencing right then, the sooner you free yourself from confusion. A woman's emotions are fluid, like the tide, rise and fall without warning. One moment she craves closeness, the next she needs space. One day she's fully invested, the next she's uncertain. If you try to match her every emotional shift, you'll exhaust yourself. As a man, your power doesn't lie in emotional mirror, it lies in stability. Your role is not to ride her waves, but to anchor them. When you accept her emotional nature without being shaken by it, you stop reacting impulsively, you stop chasing approval, and you start leading with grounded presence. That's when the confusion begins to fade. Women are driven far more by emotional experience than by predictable stability. This is why a woman may choose the man who makes her feel alive, desired and emotionally stirred over the man who offers her the safest, most secure path to a man that might sound irrational, but to her, it's natural. It's not about weighing pros and cons. It's about following the energy that moves her in the moment. This is the reason so many so-called good guys get overlooked. I may be loyal, consistent, and caring, but they're also predictable. They offer comfort without excitement. And when a woman no longer feels emotionally engaged, she begins to drift, not because she's ungrateful, but because her emotions act as her compass. The truth is, women often don't even fully understand their own behavior. She might not be able to articulate why she's pulling away. She might not have a hidden agenda or secret plan. She's simply responding to an emotional current that shifts without warning. When you, as a man, try to apply logic to a moment where she's acting purely on emotion, you speak a language she can't hear. When you press for answers, demand clarity, or try to get her to explain feelings, she can't even define herself. You push her further away. Emotion does not respond to interrogation, it responds to energy. That's why you must focus on what she does, not just what she says. A woman's words can be sweet, persuasive, or even contradictory, but her actions will always reveal the truth. If she says she cares, but never invests time, that's your answer. If she claims she's just confused but chooses partying over connecting with you, that's your answer. Stop chasing perfect explanations. Stop waiting for closure to be handed to you. Her behavior is the closure. Her patterns are the truth, whether she realizes it or not. Women test men constantly. These tests are not always deliberate or malicious. They're often instinctual, rooted in her subconscious need to feel secure in your strength. Every cold reply, every delayed response, every sudden shift in tone or mood can be a test of your emotional foundation. She's not necessarily trying to play games. She's feeling out whether you are a man who stands firm or one who gets swept away in her emotional tide. If you react impulsively, chase harder, or start pleading for validation, when she pulls back, you fail that test. The more you show that her distance controls your behavior, the faster her attraction begins to fade. What she's truly searching for is emotional leadership. She wants to feel that you are the rock in the storm, that you don't lose your balance when she loses hers. When you remain calm, composed, and self-assured in the face of her mood swings, you communicate strength without saying a word. But when you hand over the lead in the emotional dance, she feels She's the one setting the tone, and you're scrambling to keep up. Loses trust in your masculine presence. A woman's attraction is not built on how many sweet words you can say or how openly you can declare your feelings. It's built on how she feels when she's around you. Men who overexpress in the hope of sparking attraction often achieve the opposite effect. You can't talk your way into her heart if her emotions aren't already leaning toward you. Instead, you must lead with energy, presence, and unshakable calmness. If she feels safe in your frame and stirred by your energy, her attraction grows naturally. Words can deepen the connection, but only after the emotional spark has been lit. Consistency is valuable, but on its own, it's not enough to keep a woman deeply invested. Yes, consistency builds trust, but without emotional variety, that trust eventually turns into boredom. You cannot show up every day with the same tone, the same energy, and the same routine, and expect her to remain hooked. Women are drawn to Polaritza's sense of contrast that keeps them intrigued. They need to feel both the comfort of knowing you're reliable and the thrill of not being able to fully predict you. It's the mystery, the subtle unpredictability. That keeps her leaning in. When everything about you is handed over to Isoli, it creates an emotional flatline. If there's nothing to earn, nothing to discover, her curiosity fades. But when you hold certain parts of yourself back, when you reveal yourself in layers, she remains emotionally engaged. You don't achieve this by playing childish games or creating unnecessary dramio. Do it by staying deeply grounded in your purpose, maintaining your own interests, and never letting your entire identity revolve around her. The key is to stop viewing her as a puzzle you need to solve and start seeing her as a mirror. Her emotional reactions often reflect your own energy back to you. If you're anxious, needy, or easily thrown off balance, she will respond with more distance and less warmth. But if you are calm, centered, and sure of yourself, she will feel drawn in, even during moments when she's unsure of her own feelings. This is why mastering your own emotions comes first. You can't control how she feels, but you can control how you show up. Patterns reveal more than promises. If her behavior is inconsistent, her words don't matter. Your role is to protect your peace and keep your standards intact. A woman will never fully respect a man who needs her more than she needs him. The moment she feels you are revolving around her like she is the center of your universe, the dynamic shifts not in your favor. She doesn't want to be your entire purpose. She wants to be drawn into your purpose. She wants to feel like she's entering a strong, stable world that already exists with or without her. If you abandon your goals, compromise your standards, or put your mission on hold just to keep her happy, you become her burden instead of her blessing, whether she admits it or not. That imbalance kills attraction over time. The solution is simple in principle, but difficult in practice. Stop playing by her rules and start enforcing your own. You decide how you show up, what you will and won't tolerate, and what kind of energy you allow into your life. You must be willing to walk away if those boundaries are crossed. Detachment from outcome is the most powerful position you can hold in a relationship. When you're not afraid to lose her, you no longer compromise your self-respect just to keep her around. A man who doesn't chase, flinch, or overthink is a man who can't be manipulated by emotional swings. He understands that her confusion is her responsibility, not his mission to fix. He validates himself from within, so her praise or attention is never the source of his worth. If she ghosts, he lets her go. If she's inconsistent, he steps back. If she plays games, he doesn't engage. His silence is not punishment, it's self-respect in action. From this space, you attract women who respect your boundaries and match your energy, and you lose the ones who never would have. That's power.